So, for the past 2 months, our life has turned upside down, and all the plans we had for the future became kinda ruined. We had to leave our home and our friends and unexpectedly start everything almost from scratch in a new place. Every day was bringing a new challenge and increasing the amount of stress we had. And the news were not helping with it. Honestly, it got much better, but we're still handling with uncertainty and with understanding that we have no idea what future will bring. So I'm glad to see you on my channel today, guys, and I think we all could experience it over the past month with the war, and even before that with the pandemic, when everything was new and complicated and hard and stressful, and now it is kind of the same. I think each one of us can relate that over the past months or years, times have been pretty hard emotionally to handle and complicated. And maybe you're experiencing some stress and anxiety now. So I wanted to make this video and talk about things that helped me significantly over the past 2-3 months while we were moving from Russia here to Georgia. And I'm not going to lie, I still feel a lot of stress and I still have a lot of anxiety and I still have a lot of bad feelings going through my mind every day. But these hard times that we've been through teach me some principles that I follow to reduce the amount of stress I have. And honestly, guys, I'm very sensitive and emotional person, so I can understand people who worry much more than others. I hope at least one person will find this video helpful and at least somebody will feel better emotionally, and maybe it will help some of you to deal with their mental health. But if you're struggling with a serious depression or something like that, you should see a doctor first. These things are more for just, a typical I'm stressed out situation, not for a serious depression. So when I'm experiencing hard times and when I don't want to drain myself and all of these bad negative feelings that I have, first thing, and I think it's the most important one, I called it take care of your spiritual self. I'm a Christian, and when I'm going through hard times, I pray, I talk to the Lord, I read His Word, I look into His promises for us, and this brings me a lot of hope and gratefulness for what I already have. Also, it reduces the amount of stress I have very much. It gives me peace, it gives me joy. So I think taking care of our spiritual self, of our spiritual part of our human beings is very important, and it actually shapes our whole mental situation very, very much. Many people pray, many people do meditation, they do some other practices that make them feel calm down, full of hope and full of rest. The spiritual part of us actually shapes our mood and our thoughts and our beliefs. During hard times, it's good to focus on this thing first and then to deal with all the other stuff. So next little advice that I have that helped me a lot is focus on small everyday tasks. When something global is happening, like the war, the pandemic, the crisis, inflation, things like that, we often start to think about them all the time. And we think about them, we focus on them, we read news about them, we worry about them. And most of the time, these worries about these global, hard, complicated processes that the world is going through don't help our mental health at all. They actually make us feel very anxious, very stressed out. We can't focus on things that we need to do because we worry constantly about this big thing happening. What helps me a lot is that I try to focus on my day-to-day tasks, like little things that I have to do as a mom, as a wife, as just a human being. I need to do house chores, clean, cook, work. You can't do anything with the global thing happening, but you can do something with these small tasks that actually build the quality of your life, that actually are important to you at the moment. And I focus on these little things. I focus on these small tasks that I need to do. And by the end of the day, after I've done all of that, I didn't have much time to think about the global changes, but I had a lot of time thinking about things that I actually can change, that I can do. I've been working, and by the end of the day, I feel satisfied with my day because it went productive enough. I did things that I needed to do. I didn't worry that much. I did everything that I could to make my life better, to make the life of people around me better. Next little advice that I have is read less news. Let's admit, guys, news are important. News are important to know, especially like news about something big and like global happening. I've been reading news every single day, almost every single hour for the first month of the war, because I actually knew that depending on the news, my recent plans can change very significantly, and depending on the news, I need to make decisions. We wouldn't move out from Russia probably if not me reading everything and Toya reading everything and knowing what is happening. But now I almost stop reading them. I read them once in several days just in case there is something very important and like big serious changes. If you feel very bad when you're reading news, if you feel like they're stressing you out, if you feel that they are making you very anxious and worried, just don't read them. If you don't have to deal with them, if it's not your job, if you're not like a journalist or something like that, just take a break from them. See if they actually make any difference in your day-to-day life, and maybe not reading the news will actually be more valuable for you than actually reading them, because we often think that we need to know everything that is happening, but most of the times we really don't. Next little advice is focusing on simple little moments that bring you joy. Very often we go, into our head and we process all of these worries and feelings that we have, and we don't notice the beauty of every day. We don't notice nice things that are happening to us every day, like tasty coffee in the morning, bird near your window singing, like the sun is shining, the good weather today. Maybe you have a pet and playing with your pet brings you joy. Simple little things that we can easily miss because we are, drained in our worries. So try to focus on these little moments. Try to wake up and think what beautiful and nice I can see today. Think about small little things that you can be grateful for. Think about small little things that make your day beautiful, that make you enjoy your life. These little moments are the most important ones because they shape your mood, they shape your well-being, your whole life. You face them every day. Try to focus on the beauty around you, on good things around you. Next one is pretty simple one. It's eat well and sleep well. I don't think I need to talk about how these things are important for our emotional well-being, because our bodies and our minds are very connected. If you sleep bad, if you eat bad, if you don't care about yourself, you'll feel emotionally very bad too. I know that if I would sleep less than I need, I would feel worse and worse and worse, and my mind will be more anxious and more weird and more thinking about bad stuff. So I make myself go to sleep. I lay in bed and I try to fall asleep because I know that it will make me feel better. The same with eating, eating good quality food helps your mental health a lot. Not only, tasty junk food that you like, it might help you too, but I mean the good quality food, like good quality vegetables and fruits and things that will actually nourish your body and make your body feel better. And then when your body feels better, your mind will feel better too anyway. And the last little advice that I made for myself and that I follow in complicated situations is reduce your expenses and try to work better to feel more financially stable. I think when there is something complicated and worrying happening around you, and at the same moment you are struggling with your finances, I think it can really, double your anxiety and make you feel much, much worse. When I feel that there are situation around me that can be complicated and I might need extra money in this situation and I might face some financial troubles, I try to reduce my expenses significantly and I try to save more. I might not buy things that I plan to buy, not go on a trip that I plan to go. This period of time, maybe save more and know that I have saved the amount of money that can help me in some trouble. Feeling that you have control at least over this sphere of your life is making you feel much better. In stressful situation, I actually work more. I get more productive, get more creative. I think about ways I can make my work better, maybe earn some extra money, and it helps me to reduce my bad feelings about something bad happening, like my worries. And also it helps with our finances, so usually I work better, so we earn a little bit more and we can feel more comfortable with our savings. Maybe if it will help you, try to focus on your work and your finances a little bit. Maybe change your budget, maybe reduce your expenses a little bit, maybe do some extra work if you want to, if you can. So these were all the advices, guys, that I had for you. They helped me a lot during the past 2 months, and I've been thinking about them a lot, and I've been trying to do something with my life, with my mental health, to not make myself that anxious or that stressed out or that depressed that I would not be able to get out of this myself. So I was trying to make myself feel good enough to, you will still be worried if something bad is happening around you. You will still feel stressed out, but there are ways to reduce that amount. There are ways to make you feel better, and there are ways to go through this hard stage in a better way, in a more confident way, in a calmer way. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye.